my 5th vlog. Apologies that it's been like 2 weeks, but my head's been all over the place and I've been busy and not actually doing work. Sorry, Dad. But I've just been busy doing other stuff, which I'm sure I'll get around to talking about. So yeah, my dad and brother are actually going to do another vlog apparently, but they're awaiting some props. I dread to think why they would need props, but I look forward to seeing it anyway. Alicia told me that she wanted me to make a video of me using my coffee machine that she bought me as a present, but I haven't done that. I'm not going to, but I am currently drinking a latte that Claire Dutton made me because I can't use the coffee machine. I'm just a failure at life, but I can't use it. So every time I want a latte, I have to get her to make one for me. It's not ideal, but at least I get one. So what have I been up to? Well, since the last vlog, obviously it was Halloween, and RAG, which I hope everyone knows what RAG is. It's a volunteering project that raises money for charity, basically, and me and Claire are the managers of RAG, so we get to organise activities to raise money, basically. So we used Halloween as an event to raise money, and we went up to Bar Uno and face painted. I say we, I didn't face paint anybody, it was mainly the others, but I'm not very good at things like that. Yeah, and we raised £40, so that was really good for RAG. So Sunday was World Vegan Day, so I set about organising a vegan meal for Katie and Claire and Kieran. I made like a veggie casserole thing, and then a vegan chocolate cake, which actually turned out better than expected considering that I've never made cake before. Not like that anyway. So yeah, it's good. I think that they enjoyed it. Probably doesn't compare to normal chocolate cake, to be honest, but then yeah. Anyway, I used to be vegan. I've been vegan twice now. It never really lasts long. For like the first time became quite ill, and then the second time I ran out of money and the only thing that my flatmate had was cheese, so I had to eat the cheese. I don't really enjoy it. I would probably would rather be vegan, to be honest. I've been vegetarian for like years now. It all started off as a dare in school. Not really a dare, but like it was Lent and everyone was like, oh, I bet you can't give up meat, and I'm like really bad with dares and stuff like that, and like if people like bet me that I can't do something, I'm probably going to do it. I don't know what that's about. It's not a very attractive personality trait, but yes. So then I just didn't, and then I've never eaten meat since. Not out of stubbornness. I didn't want to eat meat anyway. Like ever since I saw like a horrific video in RE about what actually happens to animals in like slaughterhouses and stuff. I don't know why I didn't think about it before. I guess like naivety or whatever. But ever since then I've just wanted to be vegetarian. My mum was always like no, so then I just kind of like secretly behind her back didn't eat meat. Yeah. Seemed to do quite a lot of stuff behind my mum's back. And then so Tuesday was Lost Property, and it was like a different one this time because they had bands playing and the BBC were there. And it was pretty good. I thought I really liked Soft Toe Emergency. The other bands were okay. Enjoyed seeing them. Probably wouldn't ever make an effort to see them again or anything. But Soft Toe Emergency were really good. Claire Dutton was absolutely off her face. Never seen her that drunk. No, I have, but not in a while. But I think that was my fault because I was encouraging her to get drunk and to let out her coffee side. I don't know if I've spoken about that before, about how I think the world is split into two types of people: coffee people and tea people. And coffee people are wild, don't sit still, want to party all the time, and tea people are laid back, enjoy home comforts. But yeah, I like coffee. But yeah, moving on. Anyway, so I was trying to encourage her to let her coffee side out, but it all went drastically wrong when I had to carry her home. She ended up getting a matching tattoo with Estee actually, which was funny. Yeah, well no, it was her henna tattoo and it's gone now, so that was something. At least it wasn't a real tattoo. That would have been a story to tell the grandkids. Yeah, the next morning I asked her what she thought of the bands, and she just looked at me and said they all sounded Welsh to me. One band was Welsh. Funny. But no, it's really good. Had a good time. Again, we didn't make it to the end of the night. I can't remember the last time we have made it to the end of the night now, to be honest. It's getting a bit of a joke. There's just always something. So I went home this weekend, saw my parents for a grand total of about 3 hours, went out to the gay night at Surrey University, which is literally actually just how many men can you fit in one building. But no, it's good. I like it, but it's not as good as the one up here, but never mind. That was fun actually. Dave ended up getting off with this boy that was dressed as a bunny, who just literally like leapt on Dave and stuck his tongue down his throat, and then like proceeded to steal his phone and send himself a message from Dave's phone so that he could have Dave's number. It was weird. And then on Sunday I travelled all the way to Brighton so I could go see Dean and just hung out at his house, just like chilled and stuff. We were both really hungover. I drank so much at teas, so much. But then I always drink quite a lot when Dave comes up, because he's a bad influence. So yeah, we were really hungover on Sunday, so we just like chilled out and watched horror movies and stuff in his bed, and then watched X Factor with his mum. And his mum, I love his mum, she like rang up X Factor to call Simon Cowell a prat for that voting thing. Yeah. Watched this like amazing documentary this week with Fern Cotton and Peaches Geldof, who I love them both, so I was like, when I saw that it was going to be on, was like really interested in it. But I've never seen anything so funny in my entire life. Like, Peaches Geldof is really awkward, but like openly admits that she's awkward. And I think I'm quite an awkward person, but not like to the extent that she is. There'd just be like times when Fern would try and get Peaches to open up to her, but Peaches wouldn't even speak back to her. But then it would work the way around when like Peaches would be like trying to tell Fern something and Fern would be distracted by a cat. I think that was the best bit. But yeah, it was just a really interesting documentary, and then you get to see like a different side to Peaches. I think like she's like really big on reading and like sci-fi and stuff. But then you also see how like scattered she is. Like, she's supposed to have this job, but then she doesn't really go into the office or anything. She just does it at her own pace, and they like let her go away with it. But it was a really interesting documentary anyway, and they're both pretty hot, so it's worth viewing, in my opinion. The last couple of weeks I've like really been missing Lindsay. I've been missing our little chats about how like last year, just like missed having her around the house and stuff. Like last year I used to just go into her room and sit on the beanbag at the end of her bed and just have a little chat. I can't do that anymore, and it's been making me sad. I've been eating a lot of mince pies and thinking of her. She likes their mince pies. Just remembering of like how she used to get really hyper and just run around the house and like cartwheel and stuff. Get to see her in 2 weeks, which I'm looking forward to, but like I've just been missing her a lot. So I just want to say, Lindsay, I miss you. And I hope everything's going okay with you, and I can't wait till we go out in Manchester together. Yeah, I was thinking about like just bringing you a mince pie wrapped up in a ribbon or something, but I don't think I can be bothered to take it on the train. Sorry. Yeah, bless her. Which reminds me, I'm still in shock that Katie has never ever had a mince pie before. She didn't even know what mince pie was. She was like, isn't mince like meat? And I was like, oh, you know I don't eat meat. But yeah, it made me laugh anyway. But she'd not had a mince pie, she'd never even had an apple pie. Weird. So I'm just going to end with like an embarrassing story, actually of mine, which I guess other people think, oh, that's not embarrassing, I don't know what you're on about. But things like that for me are embarrassing. Like, it takes like quite a lot for me to go and like talk to people I don't really know. So like when I had my first dissertation meeting, and it's like with 4 people that I didn't really know, I was like quite nervous, and it took me like ages to like work myself up to going, which sounds really weird. And like when people meet me, and like mostly people meet me when I'm drunk, so I am quite like outgoing. So they're like, no, you're not shy, but actually I'm quite shy. Anyway, so in the meeting, our like dissertation supervisor, yeah, asked us to like say our names and then our interests. To which I was like, what? Just like our actual interests in like every like day-to-day activities? And she was like, yeah. And then so I just started going on about like stuff I like to do, and she's like, no, I meant interests within the project. And I was just really embarrassed. But I had to ask her to clarify what she actually meant.